It's a gorgeous, warm summer afternoon in Denver, Colorado for the 2022 National Championship Tournament. Game 2 of the opening day of the tournament today features the national champions from 2018, the Screaming Eagles from Southern Indiana, and the Rogers State Hillcats, who are red hot coming into this tournament. I'm Brendan Gulick along with Leah Secondo. Thanks for joining us as we get ready for a day where we think we're going to see really good pitching. Drea Morales and Allie Gooden are fantastic. And I think, Leah, we're going to be in for perhaps maybe a more low-scoring game here in Game 2.
Low-scoring game. It's going to be important for these teams to manage any opportunity that they get a base runner on and push that runner along, because that one run may be the only run that either team will need today to advance.
Southern Indiana, the 4 seed in this tournament. Rogers State, the 5 seed. So at least for this first game here, it will basically only just dictate who the home and visiting team is. USI will be the home team, so they're out there in their predominantly Navy uniforms. And you'll see Rogers State out there with the white tops and Navy pants. We are ready to go. Allie Gooden against Chelsea Spain. And the first pitch here this afternoon, right at 2 o'clock, is inside for ball 1. Chelsea Spain, a sophomore for Rogers State, 53-10 on the season. She's got some serious power out of the leadoff spot. 10 homers, she's driven in 38 with 11 additional extra base hits. What do you like about this Rogers State team and the way that they compete?
I like the way that they understand how to aggressively push it on the base paths. If they do get that runner along, and they're aggressive in the box as well. They've been talking about this vision of being in this championship setting since they stepped foot on the field in the fall, and they are not passive-aggressive at all.
Chelsea Spain pops out, so Nicole Price, the freshman shortstop, will have a chance to bat here for the Hillcats. Kennedy Nally, the fabulous center fielder, Mackenzie Bedrick, and Emma Tusher are in the outfield for USI. Mary Bean, Jordan Rager, Rachel Martinez, Lexi Fair around the diamond, third to first, and Sammy Cahiga is catching Allie Gooden. Mario Calabrese has the plate. Trina Comerford umpiring at first. Kevin Condor, the umpire, down the third base line here. Price, 267 on the season. She's playing in her 57th game of the year. Hillcats won the Super Regional with a sweep of Central Oklahoma, including a 5-inning run rule affair in the second game of that Super. They pounded the Broncos 12-1 after beating them 3-1 in the first game of the Supers. They also won, the Hillcats won their Central Region Championship by beating Winona State twice and Minnesota State 3 times. Good cheese there from Gooden.
Cheese, huh?
How about that?
I like that one. That's a good one. It's a new one.
Nicole Price, she's the only left-handed bat in the order today. Slaps it foul out of plate. Rogers State lost the second game of the regional 3-0 to Minnesota State, and so they had their backs against the wall, but able to get past Winona and Minnesota State. Just off the corner, 2-2. Pretty good run with the MIAA tournament. 2-2 is fouled into the screen. Rogers State Hillcats, their first MIAA tournament title. They won it on a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th inning. This one's grounded off the third baseman Bean's glove. Hard hit ball, and Price is aboard.
This infield will eat you alive, and you can't do the ole. There's a little bit of an ole there. You've got to really be aggressive in getting in front of the ball here, otherwise it'll eat you up. And so the first base runner on.
By the way, it was Chelsea Spain that hit the two-run home run to win the conference championship this year. First pitch in there for a strike to Lena Goss. Goss, a pretty good hitter, 261 average and maybe a little bit lower than she'd like. But she's done a nice job in the three-hole this year. Certainly setting the table for Abby Rogers. It's interesting, this Rogers State team almost seems to have some of their better power hitters in the bottom half of the lineup. We'll get to Alexis Watson when we get there. She's batting 7th, despite the fact she is one of the all-time great Division II hitters. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gooden to Goss here in the first.
And Gooden's working with some pace here. She gets that ball back. She's ready to rock. If you're a batter, you've got to think about that. Think about trying to break up her pace a little bit in the circle.
Off the end of the bat, floated back toward shortstop where Rager puts it away. And there's 2 outs now for Abby Rogers. Gooden's fastball, pretty darn good, usually sits around 63. Head coach Sue Kunkel said she's changed her identity as a pitcher a little bit. Last year, more of a hard thrower. Tried to go up and in on hitters, and now she's working different planes, different speeds. Reinvented herself, and it's turned into USI, getting back to the Division II College World Series. Haven't been here since they won it a few years ago. In fact, the last few years, we'll tell you more about Southern Indiana when they come to bat in a minute, but that Midwest region is so tough. And the last few years, it's either been USI or Grand Valley State that seems to be the team to beat in the region. And fittingly, they played each other in the Supers last week. And both games were decided by 1 run, awfully close contests. 2-1 and 3-2 the wins for the Screaming Eagles. 1-2 to Rogers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nicole Price had a 1-out single, but otherwise Allie Gooden gets out of the first inning without any damage. And the Screaming Eagles will bat for the first time when we come back. No score heading to the bottom of the first here in Denver.
State catcher, 24, Abby Rogers, and your pitcher with an overall record of 34-4 with a 1.41 ERA.
Southern Indiana comes to bat in a scoreless game, bottom of the first inning, and they're going to face just maybe the best pitcher in the country. There are several young ladies that'll be here pitching this weekend that have an argument. But this young lady, Drea Morales, a unanimous first-team All-American, she is the real deal. 34-4, conference pitcher of the year. She's got a 1.10 ERA. She misses a bit down low there. From El Paso, Texas. She's got just about every major pitching record in the history of Rogers State softball. And she is only one of 2 active Division II pitchers with over 100 career wins and more than 1,000 career strikeouts. She's having a great year. And I know the Hillcats are hoping that it's more of the same from her here this week.
And also getting it done in the classroom. Already has a degree in biology, working on a master's in business administration, wants to go to medical school.
Mackenzie Bedrick grounds out to shortstop to start the bottom of the first inning. Bedrick is the real deal herself. By the way, let's not go any further before acknowledging that she is this year's Elite 90 Award winner for having the highest GPA of any young lady here competing this weekend. 4.0 student in nursing. Congratulations, that's a really cool honor for Mackenzie Bedrick. Michaela Bowman, Kimberly Presnell, and Lana Goss out in the outfield left to right. Gibson, Price, Spain, and Watson around the horn, with the Conference Freshman of the Year, Abby Rogers, catching. As Kennedy Nally is down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Speaking of freshmen, she is the only freshman in the batting order for Southern Indiana today. 297 on the year. She has played every game as a starter and cuts and misses at strike 3. 2 gone for Lexi Fair.
Well, both pitchers working at a pretty good pace right now, Brendan, and this one high and outside about letter height and just blowing it right by for a quick second out.
Lexi Fair takes inside. Couple conference champions squaring off in this game. I mentioned earlier that Rogers State won the MIAA. Great Lakes Valley Conference champions, the Screaming Eagles, this year. Beat Maryville University, Lindenwood, and the University of Indianapolis to win that conference title. They lost the opening game in the Midwest Region Tournament, but came back to win 4 in a row, and all of them in convincing fashion over Lindenwood, Drury, and Saginaw Valley State twice. And they beat those Grand Valley State Lakers in a couple of tight games. Fair fouls one off. Lexi Fair is an extremely good hitter. She's got great power numbers. She's a good contact hitter. One of the best power threats in the GLVC for a Screaming Eagles team that comes in 49-11 this year. One ball, 2 strikes. Base is clear, bottom of 1. On the ground to second, where Chelsea Spain scoops it up and throws her out. 1 inning complete. No runs, no hits, no errors. USI goes in order, and we are heading to the second. Top of 2 as the Hillcats come back to work against Southern Indiana. Morales, Bowman, and Watson due up here this half inning. Brendan Gulick and Leah Secondo with you. Game 2 of 4 on the opening day of the tournament. First game of the day, a victory for the 8th seeded Cal State Dominguez Hills. They beat the top seed and the top-ranked team in the country, UT Tyler. 5-1 final score. Maya Lopez hit a 2-run homer in that game. Lots of doubles for the Toros, who frankly kind of stunned the Patriots. So the winner of this game plays Dominguez Hills. And they'll play the first game of the day tomorrow, scheduled for 11 o'clock local time, 1 o'clock Eastern time. That one hit the corner. The loser of this game will play the third game of the day tomorrow. It'll be the first elimination game of the tournament. It's back into the screen. That third game should start at approximately 6 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock local. But, of course, it depends upon how things go leading up to it. And like our first game here went a little bit long, so this one got bumped back a little bit. Bridget Morales rolls it foul. 328 this season is Morales. 7 homers, 28 RBIs. That's up high and the count runs full. It is outside ball 4. The freshman from Moore High School draws a leadoff walk.
Again, you're not going to get many of those. Be interesting to see now if the Hillcats make a change here, try to get a little bit more speed over at first base, manufacture that run over on a sacrifice.
Get a look there at the Rogers State coaching staff. What a remarkable job head coach Andrea Vaughn has done with this Hillcats program. We had a wonderful conversation with her yesterday. 10th overall season with Rogers State, 7th as the head coach. I think it's pretty clear how much she loves her job and how much she really enjoys this team. This group is trying to live in the moment as best they can. They're thrilled to be on this stage, but they think they're pretty good, and they think they've got a chance to win it all. First pitch from Gooden in there for a strike to Michaela Bowman. Smoked up the middle, a line drive right at Bedrick. Out number 1. Here comes Alexis Watson, the senior from Muskogee, Oklahoma, and previously from southeastern Oklahoma State. She has done things offensively as a student athlete that most don't quite achieve. Ridiculous power. Sitting on 14 homers, 32 RBIs this year. Puts a charge into one into left center field. Bedrick, a couple steps in front of the track, runs it down.
You know, these guys are smart at the plate. They know that that first pitch might be the best one that they see off of these solid pitchers, and Watson trying to jump on that one just a little bit too much on the fists.
Jalen Gibson gets the barrel on it, bloops it into left field for a base hit. 2 on, 2 out, and Kimberly Presnell to the plate.
This one wasn't on the fists. And you know what? You fight it off because a Texas leaguer in the book is a Texas leaguer and a base hit in the book. 2 board here with 2 outs, and now a runner in score position. It's a little bit interesting.
Presnell, offensively, 248 this season in 59 games. Let's see if she can find a way to drop one in somewhere. Rogers State is not a team that runs the bases all that aggressively from a stolen base perspective, but they're pretty good at manufacturing runs. So to your point earlier, you know, they're aggressive for sure, but I don't think you're going to see too many instances where somebody's got the green light and you're going to just try to take off and swipe one against somebody. They've got decent speed with Morales, who runs okay at second here. That is not a foul ball, but actually a passed ball. Did not deflect off the bat. Both runners move up.
Yeah, we saw this come and glare at UT Tyler in game number 1 off of 3 errors, and let's see what happens here. Setup was inside, and just a little bit misplayed. Allows the runners to move up. Here with the 2-1 count.
Right back through the box, base hit. Morales scores. Gibson on her way. Play at the plate, and she is out. What a throw from Bedrick. A great tag. Now, before we go to break, couple things. One, unfortunately, Gibson is on her back, and she needs an athletic trainer. But we're also going to see an official review here. Certainly hope that Gibson is okay. I would imagine they're going to review for obstruction. Leah, I know that a lot of the folks watching this are fans of either of these two schools and haven't seen replay this year. So the replay rules, each team has 2 challenges, no matter what happens, win or lose. And all of the reviews are done back in Pittsburgh. The umpires here are basically put on headsets to talk with some folks back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the umpires relay the decision. And we have the camera angles that they're looking at. So we're going to show you mostly at full speed first, and then we'll try to slow some things down for you since this is a all-hands-on-deck endeavor with the replays. So get a look here at this play at the plate. Again, called out. Any reason to think that there was obstruction?
I don't think there was any reason for obstruction to be made there. The slight movement to get into position for taking in that ball, but we'll see what they take a look at here. Keep in mind you don't retain it. You use it, and that's it.
Each team with 2 challenges. We'll take a little bit of a slower look at it, too. Gosh, what a great throw. Yeah. I mean, just perfect. One hop, easy to handle for a catcher. Cahiga put the tag on, called out at the plate, and I sure think it was the right call that she was out.
I agree.
I have to imagine the only thing they can be reviewing here is obstruction.
Right, and I can't see it being overturned. Trying to refresh my screen as well to get into
I can see why Gibson got a little
definitely challenging. It's just challenging. Yep. Was the tag there? It's not an obstruction. Was it actual tag? Did she get underneath the tag? And I feel as though the out will be upheld.
And it is. So the inning is over on a great outfield assist from Mackenzie Bedrick. But don't take away from the fact that Kimberly Presnell has given Rogers State a 1-0 lead on that RBI single to center. Gorgeous shot of downtown Denver this morning. Glad to show you what it looks like to be here at the 2022 championship. We've got some great visuals planned for you throughout the course of the week. I'll tell you what, we've had, this week every year, it can be a little finicky depending on where you're at throughout the country, and there are certainly some places nationally that have seen far more rain this spring than they cared to.
No pitch on that play. Umpire had something in his eye.
Hopefully he's okay.
Mario Calabrese.
Anyways, awfully glad that the weather today and the forecast all week is calling for more of the same. I mean, this is just perfect.
Yeah.
79 degrees, a little bit breezy, abundantly sunny. We're not expecting any rain all week unless something changes. It's going to be a perfect week for softball here in Denver.
Absolutely.
Allie Good in the batter. And for as well as she's pitched this year, she's also a great hitter. Good in .353 on the season with some pop. Homered 8 times. Looks like Mr. Calabrese needs a second to recalibrate. Katie Back and Jordan Rager will follow Miss Gooden. Foul away. Allie's probably the strongest offensive player on this USI team. This one down the right field line, threatening the corner, but foul. Sue Kunkel admits that Allie Gooden has really developed nicely. Can hit the ball a long way, even though she doesn't have a ton of power stats. Rockets this one off Morales' glove, and the relay to first is not in time. Gooden aboard. So the first base hit for the Screaming Eagles. And here's Katie Back, who does have some of those numbers to back up some success. Only 2 home runs. But the team affectionately refers to her as Katie Clutch because she has single-handedly won several games for them this season. She went from being a full-time pitcher to a DP and relief pitcher throughout the course of the year. And she's just been a real treat to watch develop.
Very patient and disciplined at the plate. She knows exactly her zone. It's going to force you to throw her a bad pitch. Strong as heck.
Wow, that's a tough take. 2 balls, 1 strike. Softly hit towards Spain at second, and they'll get Gooden at second base for the force out. So Back's aboard on the fielder's choice. 1 out for Jordan Rager. Rockets one through the left side, base hit. Back to second base. And now there's 2 on with 1 out for the Screaming Eagles.
That's a good piece of hitting right there by Rager. Nice job. Took a little bit off this pitch. She had to hold back on it just for a second. Got her right through the hole between short and third. Good job.
Sue Kunkel comes out of the third base dugout in her 21st year as the head coach at USI. And it looks like we'll have a pinch runner heading down to second base, running for Katie Back. That is... Boy, it looked like it was number 4, unless I missaw that. Well, that's an issue because there's no number 4 on their roster. Oh, I see.
Emma
It's
Tucher?
Emma Tucher, who was in the 10 hole. I was looking down at the substitutes. Yeah. All right, that helps. So Tucher, the one player in the batting order, because the DP and the pitcher are both hitting, the one player in the batting order that could run for her that was not a unused sub. Tucher's allowed to run at second. Sammy Cahiga at the plate, 2 on, 1 out, 1-0 Rogers State in the second. Wow.
That was tight.
fouled away.
Yeah, Sammy had something up there a little high in the zone, biology major, and trying to bio it out to right field.
Cahiga cuts and misses. 2 strikeouts for Drea Morales.
Kept it low and away in the zone. Cahiga didn't go down and go get it. And just a blow by. 2 key strikeouts each inning here right now. No question about it for Morales.
Rachel Martinez, who's been a model of consistency throughout the course of the year, offensively and defensively, hitting .318, gap-to-gap power. Really good hitter, especially considering she'll bat in the 8-hole in the lineup here. Southern Indiana with its first scoring chance of the game. Morales gets out of it. Martinez cut and missed at the second strike and then just watched the third one sail by. Well done by Drea Morales. The Screaming Eagles strand a pair in the second, and it's still 1-0 RSU. Top of the order for Rogers State. Chelsea Spain, Nicole Price, Lana Goss. Hillcats got an RBI single out of the 9-hole. Kimberly Presnell. They tried to make it a 2-run single, but Bedrick threw Gibson out at the plate. That ended the inning in the second. And ended any threat that came along with it. That's called a strike on the outside corner. Well, USI is pretty used to playing in some tight games, especially in tournament time. So being down 1-0 certainly doesn't faze them. But I really like the way Rogers State has started. Not too many teams that are here this weekend have already won 53 games. High fly ball carrying to left. Nally makes the 2-handed catch. Kind of feels like the wind is swirling more than consistently blowing in any direction. But it seems like it's probably hung a few deep fly balls up a little bit. We've only had 1 home run through the first 11-plus innings now that we've played today. Beg your pardon. Was it 9-plus innings? Price tried to reach on the bunt, and she does.
Yep, no chance at all. Great speed out of the box. And a good job, Brendan, really to keep her feet in the box and not go meet that ball and be called out for being out of the box. Good job.
So Goss stands in and fouls it toward her own dugout. Goss, a sophomore from Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Held herself back there. On the appeal, she did not go. Lena checks her wrist, gets the plate, ready to climb in. Wow, not sure where that missed. It looked really good. Hard ground ball pass beat at third. Boy, the Hillcats have smoked a couple. And now there's 2 on with 1 out. And the conference freshman of the year and cleanup hitter Abby Rogers coming up.
You saw some speed, and now you saw some solid hitting. A ball up in the zone, out on the plate. And Goss just taking a rip at it. Real easy through the hole.
Way upstairs to Miss Rogers. Rogers struck out swinging last time up. That was a nice inning-ending strikeout for Allie Gooden. And missed the bottom of the zone. Price at second, Goss at first. 1 out in the top of the third. You notice anything off here about Gooden? Mechanically, anything look different?
Yeah, I'll tell you, she keeps kind of shaking her throwing arm a little bit, and I'm wondering if, she's just doing that just to keep loose or what, but it is a little bit odd right now.
Grooves are one for a called strike.
No activity in the bullpen, though. The Eagles did have some activity last inning, just for a little bit.
On the inside corner. Rogers disagrees. Full count. Gooden shakes off the dugout a couple of times. Fouls it back into the screen. Allie is from Evansville. Was a fabulous high school softball player, first team All-State her senior and junior seasons. She was also a pretty good basketball player in high school. Payoff pitch is sent high and deep to left field. Nally is out of room, and it's a 3-run shot. Abby Rogers with her 12th home run of the season. And the Rogers State Hillcats lead it 4-0.
Once again, a ball up in the zone. Right up at the letters, and pure power. No question about it. As soon as that left the bat, it was leaving yard. 3 consecutive hits, and that one is the key to send the Eagles to now make a pitching change.
Josie Newman coming on. That is not what Allie Gooden had in mind. She's been so good this season, and just frustratingly for her, unable to replicate that performance here right now. So with 1 out and the bases empty in the 3rd inning, Gooden is replaced. And Josie Newman takes over. Let's tell you a little bit about Newman this year. She is on for, let's check. I don't want to give you the wrong number.
1.79 ERA. This is
31st appearance.
31st appearance on the season, and over 141 innings pitched on the year, giving up 89 hits. 185 strikeouts on the season for Newman, coming in a difficult situation. And that, excuse me, that ball that clear defense, it literally clear defense. There's 2 workers out there in full, I would say, hazmat garb suits. And they look like Martians on the other side of the wall there. And they kind of waddled over to that ball, picked it up, weren't sure what to do with it, like they had gotten hit with it. But that was a rocket of a shot.
Abby Rogers, what a freshman season she's having. Watching those workers, I have no idea what they're working on, but you're right. They are in, full-blown like hazmat suits. And I don't know if you want the ball back.
Exactly.
And
it's funny you should say that because the umpires and the left fielder out there, Kennedy, is Beehive people, we're told. Was hysterical because everybody would kind of look from the infield play, and they're like, "No, it's okay. You can kind of hold on to it. You can keep the ball out there." It's Kennedy out there in left field for
Bridget Morales on the appeal went around. Oh boy, I guess we've confirmed that it is a Beehive problem.
Yeah, save the bees.
Just save them over there, okay?
Exactly. Save the bees.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Morales walked and scored last time up. 4-0 Rogers State. Popped up. Might be playable in foul ground. There's a lot of room over there.
Nice job.
Good effort. Lexi Fair, she made the catch. Down on her knees and semi-crashing into that wall. Able to squeeze it. 2 outs. So Michaela Bowman to the plate. Bowman hit a frozen rope to center field. Right on the screws last time up, but it hung up there for Bedrick to make the put out. Ball and a strike. Obviously, impressed with the way Morales has pitched for Rogers State, but this team offensively right now seems to have a killer instinct, which is somewhat atypical of a team that hasn't been in this tournament before. As Bowman sends one out, can of corn for Bedrick in center field that time, and the inning is over. But Rogers State puts a 3 spot on the board thanks to Abby Rogers, who tattoos one out of here to left field. And it's now 4-0 Hillcats in the middle of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd inning from MSU Denver. 3rd year in a row that this national championship tournament has been conducted here. The last time it wasn't conducted here, Southern Indiana was the last team standing in Salem, Virginia back in 2018.
Beat a very good St. Anselm's team, 8-3 to win the national championship on that day in Salem.
I feel like we've seen a lot of Texas love since we've come to Denver because there have been some really good teams out of the Lone Star that have competed well here. Yep. West Texas A&M won it all last year. Texas A&M Kingsville was runner-up to Augustana 2 years ago.
Greta Melstead's team, that was a solid team that she had in 2019. And the groove just continues here for Morales, now her 3rd consecutive strikeout.
3 in a row and 4 on the afternoon. And Southern Indiana through 1 trip around that batting order. They have an infield single, one soft single to left field, and that's it. Back to the top of the order now in Bedrick. There are a lot of really good defensive players in this tournament, but this young lady just might be at the top of the list. She plays center field as well as anybody in the country. 0-2. She can handle the bat just fine. I mean, she's hitting .370. She's certainly a good slap hitter out of the top of the order, but I love watching her play defense. That one caught the corner. Strike 3 called, and Morales is rolling. 4 in a row, 5 on the day. Somebody's got to figure it out for USI.
Well, Nolly just frozen as she started her motion to try to slap. And when you're really working with your catcher, and Morales is just grooving right along right now. And again, you've got, as a batter, you've got to think about a lot of different things in the box. You want to be the one in command there. And do anything you possibly can to kind of get Morales off of her pace. And you certainly don't want to help her going after something high in the zone.
Yeah, Nally's behind the count here now, 0-2. You're right. She's good enough inside the zone. Don't make it bigger for her. Down low. We'll remind you a few times throughout the game, the winner of this game plays Cal State Dominguez Hills, the Toros from California. That game's tomorrow morning. The loser of this game will play in the first elimination game of the weekend. And they will play the #1 team in the country, UT Tyler, who lost 5-1 in our first game today. Softly hit towards short. Good job by Price. Comes across and makes the put out. Rogers State is rolling. 5 in a row sent down by Drea Morales. And the Hillcats have a 4-0 lead as we head to the 4th on NCAA.com. There's your look at the scoreboard as we start the top of the 4th inning. Rogers State fans loving what they see so far, including that big 3-run shot from their cleanup hitter, Abby Rogers, last half inning. And they get some serious power walking to the plate here with Alexis Watson. Watson has been a home run hitting and RBI machine during her collegiate career. She skies one a mile high here in the Mile High City, and it's going to work out in her favor. Oh, my goodness. Watson on her way to second base. Third baseman Mary Bean and the pitcher Josie Newman did not communicate well enough there. That is a costly mistake.
Absolutely. Yeah, the communication drill. A lot of teams, they try not to have, honestly, try not to have their pitchers handle any balls, and that's where there has to be a leader in the infield right away. That just cannot happen, especially this time of the year, and you see the bat behind your screen. Watson being smart and take advantage of the play. That ball's live, and now is out at second base.
So often on a play like that, you actually see the pitcher sprinting toward one of the dugouts just to get the heck out of the way. Unfortunately.
It does, folks. It really depends on the team. There are some teams, excuse me, where you just, it's not a good fielding pitcher and you don't want the pitcher to be fielding the ball. But that is all discussed prior to the game. Just some miscommunication there, no question about it. And let's see if the Hillcats can make it kind of sting a little bit.
Gibson in foul ground. That's out of play. So extended life for Gibson. Bats with a runner in scoring position. 4-0, top of the fourth. Gibson had a sharply hit single last time up. She hits one way up into the sky, and that's going to leave the playing field too. And there's a look at the Patriots, who lost that first game. They're getting a look live and in person at the game that followed them to figure out, okay, we're going to play one of these two teams, and it's win or go home tomorrow for the number one nationally ranked team.
Great opportunity to scout your opponent.
What a great at bat here from Gibson. I mean, she is fighting off everything.
Sports management major in Gibson, and Jalen just trying to get something to hit here for herself, and no, taking some steam off the steam there.
Taking some steam off the steam?
Absolutely. Whoa. Got caught a little bit deeper in the hand there by Newman. Out.
Did I hit her? I think he just may have grazed off the bat. Foul ball. We did have a hit by pitch in the first game that was unfortunately ruled a strike because the lady reached over the plate. One more look at this here.
Yep.
Yeah, it clearly hit the bat. This ball's hit pretty high in the air, but it'll stay in the park. Nally makes another put out. I'll tell you what, Rogers State, you know, there are some teams that are willing to hit the ball hard on the ground and try to make something happen. I've seen a lot of flyouts.
Yeah.
Now batting center fielder number 2, Kimberly Presnell.
Kimberly Presnell had an RBI single last time up. Of the balls that have been put in play and resulted in an out on that batter, Rogers State has hit everything in the air. They have one strikeout, and of course they had the runner that was thrown out at the plate trying to score from second base on the single up the middle. But everything else, we had one line drive. Everything else was either a pop out or a fly out. I mean, they are trying to drive the ball deep. It's either that or something about the way Gooden and Newman have been pitching. They're giving these Hillcats exactly what we just saw from Presnell there. You should watch her drop her back shoulder.
If you're getting more of a rise pitch, which these pitchers are turning it over as such, and balls are getting hung up in the zone, Hillcats taking advantage of it.
That one is just over the second baseman. Martinez couldn't get up and reach it. So a base hit by Presnell. Watson goes to third. And now there's runners on the corners with one out. We go back to Chelsea Spain at the top of the lineup.
Ball left out on the outside part of the plate. Splitting the runners here, and as the Hillcats size up the defense, Spain has hit the ball pretty good twice to left field.
This ball is skied to the left-hand side. Long run in for Nally, and she makes the catch. Great effort.
Yeah, it was a long way to come. Good job on the communication by Nally. And Kennedy, you could hear calling off the defense in front of her. It's a lot easier to come in than go back out, and now they're taking charge of that play.
We're going to get a change here for the Hillcats. New batter instead of Nicole Price is Callie Yellen. Price, a couple of base hits and a run scored, but Yellen will bat here instead. 4-0 in the top of the fourth.
Nellon's got some pop in her bat, 315, 5 dingers on the season.
Cuts and misses there. Good pitch from Newman. Helped her out. This feels like a pretty critical moment if you're the University of Southern Indiana. 4-0 is not insurmountable. They've got to get out of this inning. Too high. Delayed steal, and it doesn't matter. They'll just let her take it.
Yeah, especially with 2 outs. Smart move. Not to get caught up throwing that ball around. Got 2 strikes and 2 outs. Just play the batter here, even though the force is off now.
In the air to who else? Kennedy Nally. She has caught absolutely everything that's come her way except for one when Abby Rogers hit a 3-run dinger over the fence. Rogers State got runners at the corners with 1 out but couldn't bring home a run. And it's still 4-0 as we head to the middle of the fourth.
Welcome back to Denver, and as the defense breaks for the Hillcats in the circle, Dre Morales is not only a top star and All-American on the field, but she's getting it done in the classroom. We talked about how she's a biology major and working on her master's in business administration, Brendan, but she's also hoping to go back to her hometown of El Paso, Texas, and once she gets her degree and it becomes a physician, to go back, be a part of that community in the medical field. She feels as though it's important. As you mentioned, Elite 90 winner as well, and really just understands the importance of being a good teammate and being solid in the community.
This ball's tanked by Lexi Fair. Deep and out of here to left center field. Touch 'em all time for the Screaming Eagles, who are on the board for the first time here in Denver.
This one was high in the zone, right into the muscle power of Fair, and no doubt about it as it came off the bat.
Morales, for being such a good pitcher, at times has been susceptible to giving up home runs. She's allowed 15 now on the season, but considering that she's pitched more than 250 innings. I mean, somewhere along the way, of course, you're going to give up a few of them. What I'm interested to see now is how things go after giving up that home run, as Coach Vaughn goes out and wants to have a little conversation. Because you give up a solo home run to lead off an inning, whoop-de-doo. If you're the pitcher like that, fine. You got a 4-run lead, forget about it, move on, and just, get back to what you were doing. But you got to be careful because Allie Gooden and Katie Back can really hit.
Correct. And they're in the middle of the order here, and I think it's just a reminder call, just stepping out there just to kind of take a breath for a second.
2-0 the count.
A little smoke on that one.
I said Allie Gooden, I beg your pardon, she was hitting here, but it was a substitution straight up for the pitcher because Katie Back, the DP, is still hitting. So this is actually Newman that is batting for the first time here. Josie fouls it off. Well, this Southern Indiana team they've been through an awful lot. That one misses inside. Ball 4. So Newman draws the walk. And it brings Katie Back to the plate with one on. 4-1 game in the 4th inning. During the spring last year, unfortunately, the Screaming Eagles had a pretty bad van accident as the team was coming back from a tournament, and several players dealt with some minor injuries. They only had one healthy pitcher and really didn't have much of a bench for almost a month. So, it certainly was a disappointing year last year. Of course, you're coming off the COVID year. And it just, as Sue Kunkel told us, she said it felt like we lost part of our identity as a program that can compete postseason softball and make a deep run, and we really needed to find that winning culture again.
Right.
And she said this entire year has been devoted to trying to have fun, play loose, not worry about the scoreboard. We know we've got talent, but you got to be unselfish and learn how to work together. And, again, just the gritty wins that they had in Super Regionals, the way they gutted through their region tournament. I mean, this is exactly that kind of journey that, the Screaming Eagles had sort of envisioned for themselves, but overcoming what they knew they really needed to tackle head on.
And, just like many other teams this weekend, this is the final run. This is extra. This is bonus ball right now, right? And so for the
down the right field line and foul.
For Southern Indiana, this is their last run in D2. They want to go out, obviously, on top before they make that move to Division I next year. And why not cap it off with your second national championship? A lot of work to be done, though.
Absolutely. Back pops it up, and Watson puts it away. So, with one out, Jordan Rager comes up.
Shortstop, number 23, Jordan Rager.
She singled the left fielder last time up.
Yeah, Rager hit a shot down that left field area. It's a gap. A little bit more of an open stance, if you notice. Brendan's just want to get her eyes square to Morales a little bit better. Nice wide open.
Way too late. 0-2. Boy, that was quick. Morales, 6 strikeouts. Takes care of Rager. 1, 2, 3.
And when Morales wants to throw some smoke, you mentioned, gave her that solo shot there, but he wants to throw some smoke. That was smoke right there for sure, keeping it low and away in the zone.
Cahiga takes a called strike. She went down on strikes last time up. With 6 different strikeouts have come with 6 different batters. Few have been immune to Morales' incredible performance so far. She is tenacious. I love the way she acts like she is in control and the center of attention out there in the circle. I think she wanted that one.
Focused in, doesn't take a lot of time, goes, gets the ball back, kind of looks in the outfield, and then she's right back in the circle and on the rubber, ready to rock.
Cahiga through the middle. Base hit center field. Newman stops at second, and there's 2 aboard with 2 outs for Rachel Martinez.
Yeah, just staying with it. The strike zone wasn't favorable. Kind of stayed back on that ball. Morales had taken a little bit off the pitch. Runners now at first and second here with 2 outs.
Martinez takes down and in. Mentioned it earlier, she can handle the bat pretty well. Doesn't need to do anything crazy here, just find a little green turf. Flares that one out of play. Well, we're even at 1-1. Good offering there. One and two.
A lot of room in the outfield right now.
Yeah, especially in left center. The defense is not counting on Martinez catching up to that serious heat. Look how far apart Presnell in center and Bowman in left are spread apart. Chased it out of the zone for strike 3. 7 punch outs for Drea Morales, and she limits the damage. But there was damage because Southern Indiana got on the board. Lexi Fair tattoos one over the left center field fence. And the Screaming Eagles bring it to 4-1 after 4. I mean, if that doesn't tell you how beautiful Denver is this week, I don't know what does. Fabulous aerial shots from our crew getting ready for this championship tournament. It's been fun prepping for what we think is going to be another great week. We've certainly come to expect that Denver puts on a great show, and these two teams have put on a great show. At the end of the day, it all boils down to having high-quality games. And I thought our first game of the day certainly did it justice. You get a quote-unquote upset with the number 8 seed takes out the number 1 seed. That one just missed the plate. We've had a couple of big home runs in this one, and some great pitching from arguably the best pitcher in the country, and unanimous first-team All-American Andrea Morales. Hillcats with 3, 4, 5 in the batting order. Goss, Rogers, and Bridget Morales here in the 5th.
I'll tell you right now that the way this sun is kind of wrapping around the field, especially on the right side of the fielders better be careful, because anything that gets hung up a little bit in the sun right now could be some problems for that right side of the field.
This one looks playable for Cahiga, and she got it. Well done. That's a tough play.
It is a tough play. Shed her mask right away, got under the ball before it started its trajectory down.
24, Abby Rogers.
Gathered in that first out.
Well, here's Abby Rogers. Last time Abby Rogers was up.
Put one in the B den.
Yeah, she. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Once in a while.
For those that didn't catch that part earlier, there are a couple of guys out beyond the left field fence in hazmat suits, because apparently there is a swarm of bees that was out of control. And somewhat hilariously, I guess, Rogers homered basically right into the heat of the battle over there.
Yeah.
Rumor has it those bees were not being caught in a particularly efficient fashion.
No. You know the machine where they turn on the air and all the money floats around in the box and you got to grab the money within 30 seconds?
Exactly.
Well, the bee men weren't able to do that. This ball got out of the yard extremely quick. And the trot was started early, and there you see the two guys just doing their business out there, trying to get the bees in the box. Got to save the bees.
1-2 is fouled away.
They weren't phasing that ball. That ball can do some damage, especially if you're not paying attention.
People want to bet they didn't notice.
No,
hey, look, if I'm in a hazmat suit trying to catch bees, first of all, I wouldn't be. But second of all, if I was, I'd be focused on one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, absolutely.
Abby Rogers kind of got that one awkwardly, but hit it pretty well out to right center. And Matucha runs it down.
Yeah, you're right. It was kind of a lofty swing. Under it just a hair. Tucher, no problem. Gather it in. He's trying to, as we just talked about, the sun there could be a little bit of a problem, but using her glove nicely to gather that one in.
Bridget Morales has walked and scored. She's also popped out in foul territory. She is the first batter that Newman faced when Newman replaced Allie Gooden. Good little stretch here for Newman. She sent down 5 of the last 6. And since she came on, has only given up 1 base hit. One and one. Tough day for Allie Gooden, who gave up all 4 runs on 6 hits. It's pretty unlike her to not perform at her best. But that's why you play the game. Sometimes it happens, and the margin for error on a weekend like this, I mean, to say it's razor thin just probably doesn't even do it justice. Texas Tyler will tell you they felt the wrong end of it, as this one is hit high and deep to left field. Nally hanging on the track, and she makes the catch. Well, what else is new? Rogers State, they don't believe in hitting the ball on the ground. Middle of the 5th, Hillcats, they've got the right mixture at the moment. They lead it 4-1.
Welcome back to Denver, where Dre Morales has been exceptional in the circle this afternoon. 7 Ks. Yes, she has allowed the Screaming Eagles to get their bat on 4 hits and 1 mistake with a solo shot, but nobody was on at that point, and holding on to a 3-run lead as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Denver.
Looks like we've got a couple of defensive changes. The new center fielder for Rogers State is Taylor Redding. This one is grounded sharply to short. The throw was a little off kilter, but Mary Bean is retired for the first out here in the 5th. The right fielder for Rogers State, I think, is also new. That is, no, I beg your pardon. They
That's
flip-flop.
all they did.
Yeah,
So.
Presnell went from center to right. That's a fair ball. A little sloppy defensively. But a runner at second base for USI. Bedrick put on those wheels.
Good heads-up base running here, too. You got to almost barehand that ball with the lefty coming out of the box, and Spain coming over from second base. Talk about pushing the envelope a little bit as Southern Indiana.
Are they challenging it, or did they just rule that she is coming back to home plate here? I didn't see a challenge. Sue Kunkel looks like she can't really believe what the umpire's telling her. Wow, that would be pretty tough.
So it was a foul ball is what they are calling foul ball. And so the count is 0-1. Foul ball, 0-1.
By the way, Presnell goes to right from center to right field, and Taylor comes in for Goss and moves to center. So those are the changes defensively. Bowman, Redding, and Presnell in the outfield are all shaded from left to right. Wow, good play. Just got her. Kennedy, or I should say Mackenzie Bedrick is retired.
Now batting left fielder 17.
So 2 outs now for Nally after a tough break for the Eagles. Nally 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Since the home run and the walk that followed, Morales has dialed it back in nicely. It's outside. Good pitch.
That's 2 in a row that kind of been threaded around the corners of the plate.
Fouled away. Morales with that payoff pitch, and it's fouled quickly toward that first base dugout. Right back on one hop. Morales, nicely done. Nally is retired. 6 of the last 7 have been sent down as the Screaming Eagles struggle to get it going. They thought maybe they had a chance to get a runner in scoring position there, but Bedrick was told to come back to home plate. And a couple of groundouts wrap up the 5th inning, 4-1. Rogers State leads 4-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. The Hillcats are in control right now, thanks in large part to a 3-run home run from their catcher, Abby Rogers. First pitch fouled back by Michaela Bowman. Watson and Gibson scheduled to follow against Josie Newman. Came on in relief in the 3rd inning after Gooden gave up that 3-run shot.
Oh, great pitch. Never changed anything about the motion, and that's the most difficult thing when you're throwing that change. You don't want to have any type of different look to it. Yeah, off the release. Really good job.
High fly ball hit to medium deep center. And Bedrick makes the catch. Rogers State has recorded 16 outs today. 16. They have 1 strikeout, and they've had 1 runner thrown out at the plate trying to score. The other 14 outs have been pop-ups, flyouts, and 1 line-out. They have not hit the ball on the ground 1 time all day.
You're driving that ball through.
Yeah.
Driving that ball through and up and out. And they're in a lot of these batters when they swing, of the 7 hits that they have, their bodies are just so silent, Brendan, in the strike zone. There's a lot of good torque, but they're very disciplined at the plate.
Next game on the docket features North Georgia and Adelphi. Panthers from the Northeast. They are the 2 seed this weekend. Nighthawks from Georgia. Good pitch. Nighthawks are the 7 seed, and of course, that's a program that's had a boatload of success this past decade in particular.
Absolutely.
Mike Davenport's got a great thing going.
Yeah, some pretty good things in Dahlonega. They last won a national championship in Oklahoma City in 2015. A tournament that was a championship that was actually held at in Oklahoma City at the site of the D1s, and we had a lot of rain that weekend, and they moved it to finish it up to central Oklahoma, and the Nighthawks capped it off with their national championship.
Watson pops out in foul territory. Good job by Lexi Fair. You know, there really isn't a ton of wind today.
No.
It's just a comfortable breeze, but whatever there is blowing, every time I go out and check the flag, it does seem to be coming in just a little bit. Now, the air's a little bit lighter, and obviously it's a warm day, so the ball is carrying because of that. Yeah. But I think the ones that get hung up in the sky are generally dying off.
Getting knocked back in a little bit, yes.
I think that speaks to the power that Fair and Rogers showed on those long home runs. Jalen Gibson 1 for 2. She pops one up to shallow left field. Rager gives way to Nally, who makes another putout. I mean, you're going to think I'm being sarcastic. Literally the last 8 batters in a row have either popped out or flown out, broken up by just a single by Presnell back in the 4th inning. Headed to the bottom of the 6th when we come back with Rogers State sitting pretty. The opening game of the tournament for them. Home half of the 6th inning, and the Screaming Eagles are running out of opportunities to cut into this lead. 4-1 Rogers State. They got an RBI single from Kimberly Presnell and a 3-run home run from Abby Rogers. Those came in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Lexi Fair, who's batting here, has the only run batted in of the day for USI. Had a, no doubt about it, solo home run last time up. I'll tell you what, I know it's a small sample size, and I know it's early in the tournament. We obviously have only seen half the field so far. Right now, Rogers State has been the most impressive team in my opinion. Dominguez Hill's played well in beating Texas Tyler. But there is something about the way this team carries themselves. They're confident. They got a great pitcher. They can hit it. I like the way they're playing. 2-2 is hit a country mile. Way back and out of here.
I think the Screaming Eagles heard you on that one, too.
I hope they did. That would make it fun. Would tighten the game up a little bit. Lexi Fair, a 2-homer afternoon, and she's fired up trying to get the dugout behind her. Not done yet.
As you mentioned it, Fair just trying to spur her team, and that ball was actually caught. She caught that in the zone out in front of the plate. Sheer power, complete power on that one is Fair. Second consecutive trip to the plate. 2 for 3 on the day with 2 homers.
So it's 4-2 as Newman stands in. I thought that was a good pitch from Morales, but ruled out of the zone.
Whoa.
Look out. Watch your lips.
Dugouts are high here. You still have to climb up on a step to kind of see out over, and you got to pay attention. Got to pay attention.
Newman walked last time up, and she flares one into shallow right field. Wow, that's a problem. Presnell couldn't make the sliding catch, but unfortunately, Newman, I don't know if she fell over or collided at first base, just straight fell down. Oh my gosh.
Coming around that bag. And she may have her ankle on it as well, kind of rolled her ankle coming around first.
Coach Kunkel pointed to the dugout to tell somebody else to go get loose in case Newman is not able to pitch. Let's take a look and see what happened here.
Yeah, huge break for the Hillcats.
Boy, that was before she even hit the base.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You want to always try to hit that inside part of the bag. And she, like you said, it was the way she kind of stepped. I think she realized as she was coming around she wasn't quite getting to that inside part of the bag. Totally went over the top of it. It came down funny on that ankle.
I hope she's all right. I don't want to speculate at exactly what part of her leg is bothering her. But obvious that she is in a little bit of pain. USI fans are clapping and trying to cheer her on a little bit. They don't want to see her have to leave the field. Either way, Newman singles to right field. It's just disappointing for her that it couldn't, or I say that it could have resulted in extra bases. Presnell made an aggressive play coming in on that, and it got by her. Those are typically the ones that you really don't want to make that kind of an effort on in the outfield because you don't really have the help nearby. If you make a diving or sliding effort in the gap and you miss it, you probably have the center fielder backing you up, or if you're the center fielder, you've got your corner counterpart.
Well, especially this late in the game, you want to make sure if you're going all out after that ball that you're gonna be able to block it with your body in some way, and that was drifting. There was such a long way to come. That, again, this is a huge break because I don't have any doubt in my mind that Newman would have been all the way at third base.
It looks like they've actually got two pitchers loosening. Good news is Newman looks like she's going to try to give this a go and stay in. She's pitched great. Certainly hope she'll be all right. So Newman aboard. There's still nobody out in the sixth. And USI faithful take a big deep breath. Katie Back, the DP, out on a field, or I should say reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. And she popped out to first base in the fourth inning. 1-0. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. 4 runners left on base for RSU. 2 runs, 6 hits, an error, and so far 4 stranded for USI. What do you think of Morales' body language right now?
It's a little deflated, just a little bit deflated. But, you got to remember, too, that, there were a couple of calls tied around the circle that were not giving her way. She's definitely not working as fast as she was in the early innings, which I think that pace was difficult for the Screaming Eagles.
Full count. Rogers State has never played in the Division II Softball National Championship Tournament. They're playing well this afternoon as USI fouls it at the plate. Frankly, USI hasn't exactly been here a whole lot. They've obviously they had a great run when they were last here in 2018 and won the whole thing. This is just the 3rd time ever that they've made the national tournament.
As Coach Kunkel said to us in 17 when they went, it was 2 and out, and she said we didn't even know what hit us.
Lost to the eventual champion in their first game, and then lost to West Florida after a lengthy delay. They needed to replace an umpire in that game. There's ball 4. Katie Back draws the walk, and maybe Morales is showing a little bit of fatigue, perhaps. I'm not sure. Sue Kunkel comes over. I wonder if she's going to pinch run for
Back.
Newman here.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Allie Gooden that comes on. Yeah, Gooden is coming back in. She's re-entering, so Allie will pitch in Josie's place.
And Newman's not right. She's gingerly walking back off the field and into the dugout here.
For the screening Eagles, running in second, 7, County.
So Gooden re-enters. First and second, nobody out. Bottom of 6. Tying run is at first base for Jordan Rager.
Oh, Rager.
Rager with a beauty. Safe at first base, and they're loaded. How about that?
Beautifully placed ball, and as we take a look at it on the replay, Brendan, Morales' motion took her off toward that third base side, making it very difficult for Watson to come across and make that play at first base. And look at this now. We've got a brand new ball game potentially here.
1 run in on the Lexi Fair leadoff homer. A single, a walk, and now an infield bunt single here. Have loaded him up with still nobody out for Sammy Cahiga. Tying run in scoring position, and the go-ahead run is on base. Gut check time for the Hillcats. So the catcher, Cahiga, climbs in. Great hitter. Bounces it hard to second base, and they get the out at the plate. Rogers kept her foot on the very outside corner of home plate. That's a big first out. Good job by Chelsea Spain. So they're still loaded. Gooden thrown out. Back to third, Rager to second, Cahiga at first, and Rachel Martinez the batter. Rachel Martinez has struck out twice. Corners in, middle back. Wow.
Ooh, you hear the cheering, you hear the ooh, and you hear the ah for sure. Martinez happy about it. The nursing major steps back in quickly. Oh, helped her out. Helped her out.
Sweaty palms time if you're a Hillcats fan. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 8 punch-outs for Drea Morales.
Well, Martinez could not catch up with that pitch at all. You just see like this glimmer of light go through the strike zone. And the continuation continues here for Morales. Another strike.
Martinez has struck out all 3 times as Mary Bean finds herself down in the count, 0-2. I mean, I feel like in real time, it was 2 minutes ago that we were talking about bases loaded, nobody out. Oh, yeah! Morales does it again! How did she get out of that? Heading to the 7th in a 4-2 game. Ellie Gooden back in the circle for the second time today. She was taken out in the third inning after giving up the 3-run homer that made this a 4-0 game. And now her job is to try and somehow keep this 4-2. 9-1-2 in the order. The first batter of the inning is the now right fielder, former center fielder, Kimberly Presnell.
The pieces are constantly moving, for sure.
Newman retired the last 8 in a row.
Yeah, Newman did a great job, I think, coming in and relief Brendan in a difficult situation. And did what she was supposed to do.
3 2/3, no runs, gave up 1 base hit, no walks, no strikeouts. Hard to argue with those results.
Absolutely not.
And in her most pressure-packed situation, the 4th inning, when she had runners at second and third, I was able to get out of it without giving up a run. 2-1 to Presnell. Smash to the gap in left center. That's going to go to the fence. A 3-hit day for Kimberly Presnell. And the sophomore hits a double to start the 7th.
Solid in that 9-hole. And for Presnell, finding the gap, and it's all wheels. She knew right away that it was going to be difficult to chase that one down, holding for a double and standing up in its second base.
Top of the order now, and a good hitter, Chelsea Spain. Chops it foul at the dish. I have a feeling the Screaming Eagles are going to look back at that bottom of the 6th inning for a long time, win or lose this game. Had Rogers State right where you wanted them.
Yeah, for sure.
Great change of pace, 0-2. Lead-off double in the 7th inning, the 8th Hillcat base hit, but their first since the 4th inning. 1-2. So far, Gooden 2 1/3. She's given up 7 hits, all 4 runs, 3 of which are earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout on her tally. That'll move the runner up. Martinez makes the put out. So Spain is erased, but Presnell down to third.
Batting shortstop number 6,
Nicole Price. Price had an infield single in the first, a bunt single and a run scored in the third. Then Callie Yellen pinch hit for her in the 4th inning. Price re-entered at shortstop quickly. Snap throw to third is not in time, but it sure was close.
Gregor doing a nice job coming over from shortstop. You got to know what's going on. Ooh, that was really close. Just got that hand in there.
Price takes a strike, 0-2. By the way, it's worth mentioning, while the teams each have 2 challenges available to them, the umpires can also, after the 6th inning of a game, initiate a replay review on their own accord if they want. 0-2 is rolled foul. I'll check the swing. She didn't go. 1-2. tense moments at the Regency Athletic Complex. Metro State University at Denver proudly competes in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. A lot of room between the circle and shortstop. Another one watches up and away. Taylor Redding waits on deck. She has not hit yet today. On the ground to short, it will bring a run home. Safe at first base. Price beat it out. Rager made a good throw, but Price, the speedster, an RBI single, and it's 5-2.
That's the good pad that you need, and coming out of the box as a lefty. Never looked at the ball. Good hustle down the bag. And I don't know, that ball kind of slowed up a little bit, getting to short. It wasn't as hot as it normally is coming off. Good insurance run here for the Hillcats.
I know it's one run, but it feels like a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Going into the bottom of the seventh lead with a 3-run lead versus a 2-run lead.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of the scenarios that have to happen in which you score 3 runs on one play. It's far, far different than 2 runs on one play. Taylor Redding bats with a runner at first, 1 out, and a 5-2 lead after the 9th Hillcat base hit. She's going to bunt her. Bean makes a low throw, and it gets past her. Price, slow coming around third. The throw to the plate is close, but not in time. USI makes a critical mistake, and Redding helps bring home the 6th run.
You know, that's the way to contribute. You want to come into a game and be in a setting and have the opportunity, and all your job really is to do here is put down that sack bunt, right? You know, you're looking to get that sack bunt down, but this is why you'll hustle it out. You get the ball down, a couple of things have to happen. It's got to be played, it's got to be thrown, it's got to be caught. And because of that, and your hustle, Redding over third base, and yet another run here, insurance run for the Hillcats here in the 7th.
6-2. No RBI, obviously,
No.
and no. It's actually no earned run against Gooden's line either. Runner at third with 1 out. Rogers takes a strike. It was her big 3-run homer in the 3rd inning that put Rogers State up 4-0. Boy, what a turning point in this ball game the last 20 minutes. Rogers off the end of the bat, flares one to Bedrick, makes the catch. Redding scores standing up. Sac fly from Rogers. A 3-run 7th inning. And Rogers State is in great shape.
Now batting number 13, the designated player, Bridget Morales.
Off the plate outside to Bridget Morales. Morales has walked, scored, popped out, and flown out. By the way, since I have brought it up a few times, I might as well at least reference now that Chelsea Spain grounding out to second base And now this bounce out to the pitcher's mound, or I should say to the circle, are the only 2 ground outs all game for the Hillcats. Go figure. But they have found ways to manufacture runs. They hit a long home run earlier. They scored 3 runs, only one of which were earned on a couple of base hits here in the 7th inning. Presnell, Price, and Redding all helping out. Rogers the sac fly, and now it's a 5-run game as we go to the last of the 7th. Home half of the 7th inning. USI is in some trouble. They take a called strike. Mackenzie Bedrick leading off the inning. Southern Indiana trailing 7-2 now. This game looks awfully different than it was the last time the Screaming Eagles were at the plate. Bedrick, gosh, can she run? Beats it out for a single here in the 7th inning.
Hey, and credit her, you know, Brendan, she took a look at the defense. She saw that Gibson was kind of back on her heels a little bit, recognized it right out of the box, and went and attacked it. And that's what you got to do. You got to, you know, the minute you see that on that first pitch, you got to jump it, and she did.
Big cut. Kennedy Nally comes up empty. 0 for 3, couple groundouts and a strikeout. In the bottom of the 6th inning, when trailing 4-1, Lexi Fair, who's in the on-deck circle, hit her 2nd home run of the game. And then the Screaming Eagles loaded the bases with nobody out. But they grounded out to second base, kept the bases loaded, forced out at home, 1 out. Then back-to-back strikeouts of Martinez and Bean ended the inning without any further damage coming home. Rogers State followed up that momentum with a 3-spot, another crooked number in the top of the 7th inning. And so the Screaming Eagles, who won the national championship the last time they were in the D2 national tournament, they are on life support right now in their first game here this weekend. If USI loses this game, well, frankly, either team, the loser of this game for sure, will play UT Tyler, the number 1 team in the country, tomorrow. A little flare back to the pitcher, 1 out. The winner of this game, which right now Rogers State is sitting pretty, they would play in the winner's bracket against Cal State Dominguez Hills with a chance to start the tournament 2-0 and put themselves in great shape. Only 1 win away from clinching a spot in the best-of-3 championship series. Lexi Fair takes a called strike. She grounded out in the first, but she's hit 2 impressive home runs in her last 2 at-bats. That couldn't have missed by much.
No, and credit Fair, she's kind of keeping things tight in the zone, kind of leaning in to that zone area a little bit, trying to make that strike zone more favorable to her. Because then Morales has to adjust.
One and two to Fair. Little off-speed pitch, way out front of it. North Georgia Nighthawks and the Adelphi Panthers will be the third game of the day. North Georgia is already clamoring at the back of the right field fence. They want in. It's an anxious group. High fly ball to center field. Redding makes the catch. 2 outs.
North Georgia squad was pretty disappointed last year with their performance here in Denver. And so you're absolutely right. They're clamoring at the gates just to be able to get in as soon as this game is over and have their opportunity to redeem themselves here in the 2022 version against Adelphi.
Gooden, who re-entered the game offensively when she came in as a pinch runner for Josie Newman. Gooden has batted once today, and she singled. Last couple of at-bats here in the cleanup spot, though, belonged to Josie Newman. 1-1. No, it's 2-1. And the Screaming Eagles are down to their last strike. How fitting for the game to end on a strikeout. 10 punch-outs for Drea Morales, and the unanimous first-team All-American lifts her team to an opening game victory.
Steady defense, timely hitting, solid base running by the Hillcats. And their first day here at the 2022 Division II Softball Championships, solid as they now move on to take on the Toros of Dominguez Hills.
Rogers State, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They stranded 4. Southern Indiana, 2 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. They left 8. Winning pitcher is Morales. She goes to 35-4. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. She walked 2 and struck out 10. Gooden, the losing pitcher. She went 3 1/3 over 2 different stints. 7 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. She's now 16-4. 2 hours and 1 minute, the total time of game. So Southern Indiana falls to 49-12. Rogers State is 54-10. Rogers State will play Dominguez Hills in the winner's bracket game tomorrow. They'll be the first game of the day. Third game of the day tomorrow will be Texas Tyler and Southern Indiana. That should be at roughly 6 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock local time. We'll see you again here in just a little bit for the third game. Adelphi and North Georgia coming up shortly. For Leah Secondo, I'm Brendan Gulick. Back to Denver here in just about a half an hour on NCAA.com.